Hi, we're here today with Laura Manning, clinical nutritionist at Mount Sinai's Division of Gastroenterology, and we are going to be talking about the importance of hydration and what is the correct amount, and also debunking some myths. So, Laura, tell us, why is it so important to maintain hydration with water or other fluids?
Hydration is a really important topic, and with patients that have IBS or IBD, which is what I see mostly here at Mount Sinai, that's a really big topic that we discuss. So hydration is important. It helps to regulate your body temperature, it lubricates your joints, it's important for nutrient transport within the body. So there's so many different reasons why you need to be properly hydrated. But especially with IBS and IBD, you may have extra fluid losses. So if you have extra diarrhea or even ostomy output, you want to be able to replace those fluids that you lose so that you don't become dizzy, disoriented, mood changes, even faint. So it's really important, and even in hot weather that compounds it as well.
Exactly. So I mean, what you recommend as because there's so many people that say, okay, I'm going to wake up and drink 3 liters of water in the morning and then another 3 liters in the afternoon, and they think that by drinking all of this fluid that it's going to detoxify them and everything. So question number 1 is, what is the appropriate amount of water for both male and females? And then 2, some people say, is there such a thing as overhydrating? And I know that there is, but I think that, it would be good for you to sort of explain that other end of the spectrum as well.
Right. So everything in moderation, obviously, but when you have the ability to work with your body, understand its needs, you may want to drink when you wake up, during the day, and at night as well. So it's a nice progression, and having too much at one time is also not productive as well. So the general rule of thumb that we always grew up is 8 cups of fluid a day, but that's not actually the right way to gauge how much someone needs. It depends on your gender, how tall, how big you are, your weight status, and if you do have a chronic medical condition. So the rule of thumb is about 2.5 liters for women in regular circumstances, and 3.5 liters for men. If you do have a chronic medical issue, then your needs are going to be higher than that. So we also want to know whether, in instances where you do have lots of diarrhea or ostomy output, is water actually the right thing to drink? It's actually not. You have to have electrolytes. You have to have sodium, chloride, and potassium. And that's the way that you actually rehydrate yourself properly. And having just water is not going to be the right thing to drink.
Right, because you lose so much electrolytes, and salt and magnesium, those are essential components for also maintaining that pull in water when you are dehydrated.
Right, exactly.
So for people with significant loss, of water and nutrients, and the other thing that I think that we were discussing earlier was that when you're looking at different signs of dehydration, that thirst is a very late sign of dehydration. It's not something, except for after you've had a very salty, meal or something. But in general, if you're thirsty, that is a late sign of dehydration. But going back to the electrolytes and replenishing that, what do you recommend as something either over the counter or something that people can sort of concoct when just at home, not have to go to the store?
Right.
So we want to enable people to take control over their condition and to be able to help themselves as well. So
when you are clinically dehydrated, please go to the hospital so that it can be taken care of under medical supervision. But if you feel that you can, go to a store and pick something up, there are certain over-the-counter drinks that you can buy. However, some of them have a little bit too much sugar in them and maybe not enough salt. So why not learn this recipe if you are in a situation where you can take care of it at home. Take 6 teaspoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, and 5 cups of water. Mix it up and drink it slowly. Okay, so that's really the quintessential recipe for oral rehydration solutions.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for all of this information. I think this was super helpful, and hopefully that will keep everybody in check as to how much water intake, how to identify symptoms of dehydration and avoid them in the first place, right?
All right. We forgot one thing.
Yes.
Actually, one of the best ways to know whether you are properly hydrated is to check your urine color.
Yeah.
If it's nice and light,
That's true.
I was going to point to the color of the wall. If it's nice and light, you are well hydrated. If it's a dark urine color, dark yellow, then that means that you have to start working on your hydration a little bit more.
So check in at epicured.com and at mountsinai.org.